The Menden-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Menden-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's version of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Menden-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on in the mayors and supervisors, towns, and villages that we cover. This week we're starting off with John Moffett, the supervisor of the town of Menden. John, how are we doing in Menden?
Great, Chris. As always, thanks for having me. I wanted to make sure that everyone understood that we do have two public hearings coming up on December 13th. One of them is about cannabis. There's a two-way street. This has been publicized several times. I've discussed it. Other elected officials have discussed it. Anyone who has any input, I would suggest that they either come to the meeting. They can attend via Zoom, or they can send me a letter or an email, and I'll make sure that it's entered into the public record. But we do want to make sure that everyone understands what the options are and whether or not we should continue to be opted in, which is everyone is opted in by the state. The option is to opt out of either a retail store, which is I compare similarly to a liquor store, and a what they call a cannabis lounge, which would be similar to a bar. So to me, that's the easiest way to describe it. We also have another public hearing regarding tourist homes and bed and breakfast establishments, and that will take place on that same date, December 13th. We're just changing, putting a little more in there, what we already have existing into our local law, just to strengthen a little bit, which we feel would be appropriate for our community. We're reaching the end of the fiscal year for the town of Menden, as all towns are that are on the same calendar year. And we'll be looking at any excess revenue or any unspent expenditures to go into reserves before the end of the year for things like highway equipment, upkeep of various buildings, those type of reserves. We also have a certain amount of turnover every year on our boards and commissions. We have advertised for those, so if anybody has any interest, one in particular is the Library Board of Trustees. They oversee the Menden Public Library. If there is any interest in that position, please contact me, and I would be glad to share the job descriptions of any of those. Town and county tax bills will be going out in January. I want to make sure that everyone understands that Jim Mirsky, our longtime town clerk and tax receiver, is retiring December 31st. So if you're in the town of Menden, your bill will be payable to Michelle Booth, who is the town clerk-elect presently. January 1st, she'll be sworn in as the town clerk. So your bills will have her name on there. It'll still say Town of Menden, County of Monroe, but just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. And if you happen to see Mr. Mirsky, please wish him a happy retirement, as he is his days are winding down as a longtime elected official in the town of Menden. Also, just recently had a call with the county regarding some test kits for COVID that are going to be made available to us. And we will be sending out some information to our residents on how to get those in the very near future. We'll be working, I imagine, with the Village of Honeywell Falls on that, and we'll get them out to our residents. Lastly, I don't want to steal Rick's thunder here, but December 11th is a great Honeywell Falls Fire Department parade in the Village of Honeywell Falls. Town Hall will be open. The restrooms will be available for any individuals who would like to utilize those, and the town board will be serving hot chocolate in front of Town Hall, and that's a great event, and we certainly look forward to it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, John. Mike, the town of Lima, how are we doing there?
Good, Chris. Thanks for having us all today. Livingston County, no state of emergency for COVID right now. Things are status quo. We're monitoring the numbers, and that's about it. With the winter coming and people beginning to use their heating systems and shutting up their houses, it is important to remember that carbon monoxide is an odorless, colorless, and tasteless gas that kills more than 430 Americans every year. Never use generators, grills, camp stoves, or gasoline or charcoal burning devices inside your home, or your basement, or a garage, or near a window that's open into your house. If it's cold and you don't have heat, it's better to stay with friends or to find a shelter. To learn more, the Livingston County Department of Health can be reached at 243-7280. So here's some acronyms for you. NYS OPWDD has directed FLDDSO, so New York State Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, has directed the Finger Lakes Developmental Disabilities Service Organization to close 5 facilities in Livingston County. The group home in Lima was closed December 2nd. We really didn't get any notice. There was no chance to appeal or any of that stuff. My understanding is that the Finger Lakes Developmental Disabilities Service Office has lost more than 500 employees, and so they are consolidating all of these group homes across the Finger Lakes into larger facilities. So ours here in Lima is now empty. A loss for the community. Livingston County has free radon test kits. Call the Center for Environmental Health at 243-7280, and they will get you a free test kit. The Sheriff's Department in Livingston County is forming a virtual neighborhood watch. The mission of the Neighborhood Watch is to help law enforcement in Livingston County solve investigations and more effectively and more efficiently through the use of camera systems. So if you have a camera system on your home or your business, you can sign up with the Sheriff's Department. In the event that your camera data is needed, a sheriff's investigator or a forensics identification technician will contact you in person and have you sign a release allowing them access into your camera system to try to see if there's any data there that will help in the criminal investigation. We have the forms here at the Lima Town Hall if you'd like to sign up. You can also contact the Sheriff's Department at 243-7100 and they can get you forms, also available on their website, if you would like to sign up to be part of the virtual neighborhood watch. Lastly, a big welcome to Kathleen Flegel as Lima's new town historian. Kathleen is a professional writer, and we are excited to have her on board. That's all I've got, Chris.
All right. Hopefully she'll maybe submit something to the paper and we can print it. Excellent. Thanks, Mike. I wanted to just share something that Todd Campbell, the supervisor of the town of West Bloomfield, sent me with regards to the COVID status in Ontario County. It doesn't look like there's as much to talk about there as there might be in Monroe County. West Bloomfield itself has a total number of accumulated positive cases of only 208, which is kind of like smack dab in the middle for the entire Ontario County. Countywide, new cases on a daily rate is only 35. They are kind of accelerating like everybody else the last few weeks, but it almost looks like they're kind of plateauing at this point. So hopefully we'll be able to get Todd on directly to give us more interpretation of the numbers of Ontario County, but it doesn't appear that they're in the same situation as Monroe County. Okay, let's move on. Rick, Rick, maybe you know a little bit more about Monroe County, but certainly you know a lot about the Village of Honeywell Falls. So let us have whatever you got.
Well, I appreciate it. It's great to see everyone. One of the things I like so much about these calls, and we can't all make them all the time, but we do our best, but it's always great to hear some of the other input from the other supervisors, mayors, and there's always those tidbits. The information that Mike just put out on the heating and such, and what a great notice and reminder for people, because he's absolutely right. It's a really dangerous thing. So Mike, thanks for bringing that up. And to dovetail a little bit, we were just talking about, of course, Monroe County is under a state of emergency. Monroe County has gone back to all their county office buildings, must wear masks, etc. And I have to say, as much as I don't want to go down that path, we are certainly talking about it at the Village Hall again. Whether we go back to virtual meetings, I'm hoping we don't have to do that. But more of the meetings that I'm attending are going back to virtual type meetings as opposed to in-person meetings. So the Association of Monroe County Villages, we just, voted to go back to remote meetings again. And I hate not getting together with people. These things are great, but our regular meetings, we like to be, in person and face to face. So we're going to continue to watch it. Obviously the state was sending in the National Guard to help out Monroe County at some of the hospitals. And, obviously our hospitals have lost a lot of people as far as employees go because of the vaccination process, and those who just don't feel it the right thing to do for themselves. And I certainly respect those. Whether I agree with it or not, I certainly respect a person's choice. And but we need to keep our hospitals going. And so I appreciate the state sending in or preparing to send in the National Guard, but it's disappointing that we have to do that. So we'll just continue to watch, but right now we're keeping our meetings open. We're just asking people to wear masks into the village office if they're not vaccinated. But again, I would just watch your local news and watch your local municipalities' pages because we're all a little bit different, and we all have a little bit of a different process. We're pretty similar to one another, but again, just reach out and look at your own municipality's website or Facebook page, etc. This past Wednesday evening, the town of Menden, Village of Honeywell Falls, along with the Shabbat of Pittsford, celebrated our first annual menorah lighting ceremony. It was held at Totem Pole Park. It was very well attended. And it was extremely well-received celebration. And we're happy to have yet another holiday celebration take place within the community. We want to respect everybody's individuality and everyone's religious background. We're happy to celebrate some of the Christian celebrations as well as just Christmas holiday celebrations. So we're trying to be open to everybody, and we appreciate all those that supported this wonderful event. This, as John has already mentioned, but I'll dovetail into John's point a little bit. This coming Saturday, December 11th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Lineups are going to be at around 6 p.m., but 6:30 p.m. are village streets, including West Main Street and North Main, and then the Four Corners, and then the side streets along with it are all going to be shut down because of the holiday parade. This is a huge event in the village, and is a great event for Honeywell Falls and Menden, as well as our friends in Lima, because we're all taking part in this. The lineup is going to actually be started at Handtech's entrance, which is up on West Main Street. I'm sure there'll be trucks parked out on West Main Street as well, but instead of ending this year at the fire department, we will be ending the parade at Harry Allen Park. And we are told Santa Claus will be coming in to meet with the kids at the gazebo in Harry Allen Park. The trucks will all line up on North Main Street after the parade. So a lot of North Main Street will be coned off, but we're really looking forward to it. It's a huge event, but in the open outdoor air. And, we know that those who, hopefully people will wear some masks, but will spread out as best they can. And if they don't feel comfortable in the crowd, there will be plenty of areas to go where you're not directly alongside people, I'm sure. Another fun event is the Honeywell Falls Community Concert Band concerts. One of those will be held that same evening, December 11th at 7 p.m. That is at the HFL District Auditorium. And then on the 12th, the next day, Sunday, I believe at 3 p.m. at St. Catherine's in Menden, they will have the same concert at St. Catherine, Honeywell Falls Community Concert Band. They are just such a talented group of people, and we appreciate them on these concerts. Moving on to Sunday, December 19th, beginning at around 6 p.m. is our annual Living Nativity. That's at Harry Park as well at the gazebo. That's usually run by the First Presbyterian Church and some of their members, but they normally have some lambs and goats and what have you at Harry Allen Park. And it's really just a nice caroling event and telling the traditional Christmas, Christian Christmas story. So all are invited to that, and it's a wonderful event. The fire department did cancel, on a negative note, if you will. The fire department did cancel our turkey raffle. I just wanted to bring that up. And the reason they did that, and we did get a little kickback on that, but there were a lot of disappointed people, but the decision was made because it's usually such a large event at a very confined indoor space. And the fire department just felt it was in our community's best interest to not host that event. So hopefully we'll be back with that next year. On another good note, our new Honeywell Falls Menden ambulance is now in service. So we thank our partners for our support in that. But the new ambulance is now in service, and we appreciate all the efforts that the team put into that project. We've moved to a smaller, more agile rig. It was also a bit lower in price as compared to what we've purchased in the past. So this may be a good sign of things to come. And lastly, just as a reminder, this upcoming week, or I think a week from now, but leaf pickup in the Village of Honeywell Falls will end on December 13th. We did extend that a little bit, but December 13th, that will end. That will be the last day of pickup. So we strongly suggest you get your leaves out to the road. If you want them picked up by the village, get them out there by the 12th. If you get them out there the evening of the 13th, you're too late. We will not extend it again. We have to be ready to plow snow. So the 13th is the last day. That's it for now, Chris. I appreciate the opportunity, and it's great to see everyone.
Thanks, Rick. Eileen, how about the Village of Scottsville? What's doing there? Oh, you're on mute.
There, got it. Scottsville's doing well, thank you. And it's good to see everyone. First of all, with the new variant of COVID causing an uptick in COVID cases in Monroe County, the municipal building has reinstated a universal mask requirement. All unvaccinated and vaccinated visitors to the municipal building must wear a mask. We are keeping an eye on the numbers and will update you on any changes we need to make in order to keep our residents and staff safe at meetings or when visiting the building. As Rick just stated, for Scottsville, leaf pickup will be ending on December 9th so that the DPW can get the plows mounted for the snow plowing season. It's a little extension from what we had first mentioned. So please get those leaves out to the side of the road by then, because after the 9th, we will not be picking them up. Thank you to the DPW for the great job they have been doing in keeping up with the piles of leaves around the village. We have a great crew. I guess that snow season also signals the start of our budget season. We'll be working on the budget over the next few months. Just remember, board budget work sessions are open meetings. The hometown hero banners and flags are down and the snowflakes are up. The banners will be stored and put out again in May. We are retiring 2 banners for those who have retired from active service. So we thank Victoria Lacola and Dustin Dudley for their service to our country and wish them well in their future endeavors. Your community is proud of you, and the banners will be presented to them at a later date. We will be at our next board meeting on December 14th. We will be discussing the cannabis opt-out. There will be a public hearing that night. We have presented info over the past few weeks, and information can be found on our website. Any comments can be sent to the village office or can be brought in person at the December 14th meeting. Finally, check the Wheatland Tri-Light PTA Facebook site or website for information about Walking in a Wheatland Wonderland event on December 11th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It sounds like a nice event with crafts and Santa and everything. Reservations are required, and it's an event that has different groups from the school, the village, and the town working together to make this happen. So check it out, and I'm sure the kids will enjoy the event. And for us, that's it for now. Hope everyone has a good week.
Thanks, Eileen. Does anybody else remember something that they left out that they want to add? Seeing none, I want to thank you for participating in today's show and thank the listeners out there for watching and hearing what everyone has to say. Remember, we're here every Sunday at 1 o'clock on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. That's all for now, so bye-bye for now.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.